one of the biggest eShop sales of the year is live now. And what makes this one so important is the sheer number of awesome games that can be had for $10 or less. For those who want a game while trying to keep a budget, or for those who want the biggest discounts, now is your time, as you can get a bunch of sweet games for your Switch or Switch 2 for dirt cheap. To help you navigate the huge sale, I got you covered with today's video. And it's a big one. There's well over 40 games to talk about in today's video. Let's dive into it. First up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. This roguelite brawler has you playing as one of the turtles, or a DLC character if you have them, as you set out to beat down Shredder, save Splinter, and put your foot to the Foot Clan. Unlike most of the side-scrolling beat-em-ups that feature the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this one is an isometric brawler, whose gameplay is kind of like a lighter version of Hades, which we'll talk about later in the video. And this one is easy for those to get into who are new to the roguelite genre. While it can be played solo, and it's perfectly fine that way, this game shines in co-op, where up to 4 players can team together in local and online play. The Switch 2 edition features better performance and a higher frame rate and resolution, but it also supports game share. It allows you to share the game with others through a local connection or online through game chat. Right now, the game is on sale for its biggest discount yet on the eShop, 90% off. The Switch 1 version is just $2.99, while the Switch 2 edition is only $3.24 on the US eShop. That's a freaking steal. 30XX is definitely inspired by the Mega Man X series, but it has its own style. For one, the gameplay is much faster on average compared to most of the Mega Man games. There's a faster tempo to the action. You have lots of combo options available to deal damage to enemies, and there is 2 distinct characters to play as. Secondly, while the Mega Man games are typically solo experiences, this game has 2-player co-op. 2 players can play at the same time through local online play. Finally, with the roguelite style progression that this game has, it allows you to experience new levels that contain different items, power-ups, and enemies each time you play. It's never going to be the same experience twice. This one is a good one for sure, a good action platformer, and one that has a good amount of replayability. It's currently on sale for 55% off, its biggest discount yet. It's $8.99 on the US eShop. Arcade Paradise puts you into the shoes of a young man named Ashley, whose father puts him in charge of running a laundromat in order to set him straight. While beginning to manage the laundromat, Ashley soon discovers some arcade machines in the back room and quickly comes up with a better idea. Expand and better the business by adding more arcade machines and turning it into a thriving arcade/laundromat hybrid. As Ashley, you'll need to manage both sides of the business, handle daily chores, increase revenue, acquire new arcade machines, and even play them to boost the popularity with the incoming customers. Every arcade machine in the game is playable, with over 30 machines to obtain. This game is one of my personal favorite indie games of the past few years. I've played through this one multiple times. It's an awesome game, a fitting tribute to a bygone era. It's on sale for 78% off, so it's just $4.39 on the US eShop. Hades is considered by many to be one of the best roguelike games ever made, as well as one of the best games ever. It has excellent combat, a great gameplay hook, as well as the game looks freaking awesome on screen. The game looks gorgeous, and it's a deeply engaging game. As the son of Hades, you're going to need to try to escape the underworld in order to reach Mount Olympus. And to do so, you're going to need to bash some brains in. You'll need to obtain some boons and gifts to get stronger, dodge, hack, and slash your way while mastering your abilities, and explore multiple dungeons as you try to survive. If you want a good action game, or you like roguelikes, then this game is one you must simply check out if you haven't done so yet. It's on sale for $6.24 on the US eShop. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch is an excellent JRPG that combines Studio Ghibli animation with a wonderfully crafted adventure that has you following the journey of a young boy named Oliver as he travels with his companions in order to save the day. Along the way, he'll gain the power of familiars. These are little creatures that can be used in battle in order to fight other enemies and creatures. It has a little bit of a Pokemon aspect to it. Presentation of this game is top-notch with voice acting, and the story is charming. It is sure to leave an impression on you. It's currently on sale for its biggest discount yet on the eShop, 84% off. For $7.99, you're getting one of the Switch One's best RPGs. The Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap remake, is an absolutely gorgeous looking game. I'm always amazed when I go back to this one and see it in motion. 60 FPS with beautiful hand-drawn animations and visuals. This remake is a gorgeous gem. The original game is one of my absolutely favorite games ever for the Sega Master System. It's an early example of a Metroidvania. In this game you play as an adventurer who has been turned into a lizard monster. As you journey on a quest to find a cure to this curse, you'll also gain access to other monster forms that will both help you in exploring as well as in combat. This is a wonderfully designed game that still holds up, and this is the best way to experience it. Plus, at any point, you can flip back to the classic 8-bit look if you want to experience how the game looked in the past. At 75% off via the latest discount, it's only $4.99 on the US eShop. For $5, it's a no-brainer pickup. Ys Origin is an excellent hack-and-slash style game. It's a lot of fun mowing through many enemies, left and right, and engaging in some pretty fast and intense battles. The boss battles, though, are a highlight in this one. They can be pretty challenging, but it's a lot of fun facing off against them and mastering them. To complete the game, you'll need to play through it with 3 different characters, all of which have different playstyles and encounters and experiences throughout the game. So the game kind of forces you to experience all 3 characters and not just play one and complete the game that way. I kind of like that. It's on sale for $5 on the US eShop, an excellent deal. CARRION is a Metroidvania with a unique premise. You get to play as the monster, or the bad guy in this case. This game allows you to play as an amorphous, monstrous creature in a reverse horror game of sorts. It has you stalking and consuming humans at a facility that has imprisoned you. Hey, it's pretty fun to be the bad guy. As you explore, you'll grow in power and become even more dangerous than ever before. It's on sale for $3.99 on the US eShop with a discount of 80% off. That's the biggest discount yet for the game on there. Streets of Rage 4 is one of the best beat-em-up games that's available off the eShop, and it's a worthy entry in the classic Sega series. The gameplay is a lot of fun, there's multiple characters to play as and unlock, each with a unique playstyle, and there's plenty of replay value here thanks to the various modes to check out and the overall unlockables. This game features local and online multiplayer, so make sure to have a friend join you in the fun. It's currently on sale for 70% off the MSRP now. It's just $7.49 on the US eShop. Double Dragon Neon is a stylish beat-em-up from developers Way Forward that takes the Double Dragon series in a different direction, one that involves some over-the-top 80s charm and plenty of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's a very different vibe compared to the other Double Dragon games, but it works in its favor. The gameplay is solid, there's a nice rewarding progression system that lets you upgrade your stats by collecting items and replaying levels. The addition of special moves and the tag team high-five mechanic add some extra strategy and personality to the combat. If you're a fan of beat-em-ups, this is another one that's a great pickup. It's on sale for 60% off for the first time ever. It's now just $5.99 on the US eShop. The Plucky Squire is an action-adventure game where you play as a character who has been kicked out of his own storybook. As his character, he sets upon a quest to save his friends and to restore his book's original ending. As him, you'll be jumping through various 2D and 3D worlds and various other books, solving puzzles and completing various challenges along the way. This is one of the games that gets a bump when played on Switch 2. It reaches 60 FPS a lot more often than it ever did on Switch 1, and it has an improved resolution boost too. If you have the system, it'll play pretty nice on it. It's on sale for 67% off, which means it gets discounted to under $10 for the first time ever on the US eShop. Have a Nice Death is an action game where players take control of the CEO of Death Incorporated, a personification of death itself. As true to the word, this game features death, permadeath, where each run, filled with random elements, can end with just a single death. If you lose your life, it's game over. Luckily, being a roguelike and all, there's ways to make your character stronger and unlock abilities too to help you get further. This game features some smooth visuals and combat. It's very fun and rewarding to play. It is challenging, of course, they want to take you out, but you'll keep wanting to come back to see how much farther you get. And the game's humor is a nice touch that helps to break up the tense combat. This is just a quality game in the genre. It's on sale for $8.74 on the US eShop, the lowest it's been on there. Return to Monkey Island is the latest game in the famed Monkey Island series, a series of point-and-click adventure games that follows the thrilling adventures of pirate Guybrush Threepwood. Just like previous games of the series, this is a point-and-click adventure game that is filled with tons of humor, lots of hilarious moments, as well as plenty of puzzles to solve. You'll need to solve these puzzles by visiting various locations and exploring them, talking to various characters to acquire information and collecting items and using them correctly. For those new to the genre, there's a casual mode to help lessen some of the difficulty of the puzzles and get more hints. It gets its first discount in quite a while, 70% off for the first time ever on the eShop with the latest sale. The Talos Principle is a narrative-based puzzle game where players take control of a robot as they explore various environments filled with over 120 puzzles to solve. The puzzles require the player to collect Tetris-like objects by navigating through puzzles. You'll have to be careful though, as various drones and traps are found throughout these puzzles, and if the player gets damaged by these, then the puzzle gets reset and they'll have to start over from the beginning. As you advance in the game, you'll discover more complex puzzles and new puzzle elements. This is an excellent puzzle game, absolutely worth picking up for those who crave some good brain teasers. It's on sale with a 90% off discount, it's big as yet. At $2.99 on the US eShop, it's an insanely good deal. Lost in Random is a gothic storybook-themed game where you play as a girl named Even, who sets on a quest to save her sister who has been kidnapped by the Queen of Random. Random itself is a strange kingdom where every citizen's fate is decided by the roll of a dice. As Even begins her journey, she soon meets a mysterious living die named Dicey, and Even must use Dicey's abilities to try to turn the odds of the world of Random in her favor. The combat here is very interesting. It combines third-person action with deck building and dice mechanics. It's a very unique mix where action, strategy, and luck all work together in the combat in this game. Right now, the game is back on sale at its all-time low price. It's $2.99 on the US eShop. Rift of the NecroDancer is a spin-off of the NecroDancer series, which we'll talk about in a moment, that blends the franchise's signature rhythm-based gameplay with mechanics and elements inspired by games like Guitar Hero, and it makes for a very fun game to play. This game features 30-plus tracks to jam to, a variety of mini-games to play, and a remixed mode with daily challenges that shake up the beat maps, adding plenty of replayability to the game. It's on sale for 60% off now. That means it's even cheaper than it was going for in the previous sale. With its 60% off discount, it's now $7.99 on the US eShop. Cobalt Core is a sci-fi roguelike deck builder where you give orders to your crew by playing cards drawn from your deck. These cards allow you to fire off missiles, your cannons, or avoid damage, or use shields to protect your ship, for example. When you start out, you get to choose from a set of characters, and they all have their unique playstyle. But they also interact with each other in various ways, so it's a lot of fun discovering the various combinations of characters, ships, and of course your cards. If you like a good strategy game, one with a lot of replayability, then this is a game you should probably check out. It's on sale for $9.99 on the US eShop, a 50% off discount from its MSRP. Crypt of the NecroDancer is a rhythm-based dungeon crawling game. What an eclectic mix. You get to move, attack, defend, and more, all to the beat of the music. Match those beats to do better. Miss a lot of them? Well, things are going to get tricky. It's a nice, different game from the norm, especially for a dungeon crawler. The Nintendo Switch Edition comes with a new character to play as well as 2-player local co-op. It's on sale with an 80% off discount, making it only $3.99 on the US eShop. Alwa's Awakening and its sequel, Alwa's Legacy, or Metroidvanias, replays the series' protagonist, Zoe, who goes on a quest that involves using her magical abilities to solve puzzles. In fact, the gameplay incorporates elements of puzzle platformer games, and each section of the game usually revolves around solving these little challenges. Sometimes it's simple as getting around enemies or dealing with them, or navigating through a series of platforms in a specific manner. And very often, she'll need to carefully use her magical abilities to do so. The first game features 8-bit style NES graphics, while the sequel uses a 16-bit art style. Both are very good and perfect for those looking for something to challenge your brain in addition to your reflexes. You get both games in a bundle for 65% off the MSRP. It's $7.69 on the US eShop. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection contains 13 arcade games in the Street Fighter series. The original Street Fighter, 5 entries in the Street Fighter 2 series, the Street Fighter Alpha games, and the Street Fighter 3 series. In addition, the Switch version contains the previously Japanese-only exclusive Street Fighter 2 The Tournament Battle as a multiplayer tournament game that you can access. With that said, of course there's multiplayer, local and online, a huge gallery mode, and lots of ways to customize your experience. At 67% off, $9.99, this is a great deal for fighting game fans. Contra Anniversary Collection contains 10 games in the series, in the arcades, and the 8-bit and 16-bit era. It has the arcade versions of Contra, and the sequel, Super Contra, plus the North American and Japanese versions of the NES game Contra. It also has Super C, Contra 3 The Alien Wars, Operation C, Contra Hard Corps, Super Pro Protector, Alien Rebels, and Pro Protector. This is a great pickup for retro gamers. It's on sale with a discount of 60% off. It's $7.99 on the US eShop. The NAMCO Museum Archives Volume 1 collection has an excellent set of NAMCO NES and Famicom games. It contains Galaxian, Pac-Man, Xevious, Mappy, Dig Dug, The Tower of Duraga, Sky Kid, Dragon Buster, Dragon Spirit, The New Legend, Splatterhouse, Ranpaku Graffiti, as well as Pac-Man Championship Edition, a new, excellent 8-bit conversion of the modern game. This collection also supports save states, and it has a rewind feature. It's on sale for 75% off, so it's just $4.99 on the US eShop. Mr. Driller DrillLand is the HD release for a GameCube game that never came out in the West back in the day. It was originally exclusive to Japan. With this release here on Switch, we finally get to experience it. And take note, this is also quite possibly one of the best games in the series. In addition to the main rules of the game, you can also play with alternate rules that add their own unique challenges and changes to the gameplay formula. Multiplayer is a big part of the package here, with local and online multiplayer support for up to 4 players across a variety of modes. There's even a nice casual mode to play for those who are new to the series. At 84% off, $4.79 on the US eShop, it's an excellent game to pick up for those who love action puzzlers, or for those looking for a great multiplayer game to add to their game library. Oldies but goodies, the BioShock games still hold up quite nicely. They have some great stories, characters, art direction, and of course, gameplay too. I love using the plasmids, these sort of magical abilities in conjunction with traditional shooting and weapons. For $9.99 USD, you get all 3 adventures, BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite, with all the DLC and expansions too. It's a really good value for the price, and it always is when the collection goes on sale. The games run pretty well, but on Switch 2, you of course get access to handheld boost mode, which makes them play nice on the Switch 2 screen. Quake and Quake 2 are first-person shooter classics, and the HD remasters by Night Dive Studios are excellent. They have improved lighting and visuals, they look better than ever, and they have a ton of features too. Like they include the original mission packs, as well as new expansions. Quake 2 comes with Quake 2 64. There's online and local co-op with crossplay support. There's gyro, aiming support, and lots more. These additions are the best way to experience the games now. The bundle that contains the 2 games is on sale for 60% off. It's $5.99 on the US eShop. That means each game is just about $3 each. Need some good, cheap racing games for your system? The EA Classics, Burnout Paradise Remastered, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered are good bets. Burnout Paradise Remastered contains the original game experience with all the DLC and runs at 60 FPS on both platforms, as well as includes online multiplayer. The frantic racing and crashing is still as fun as ever. It's $5.99 on the US eShop. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered has all the DLC as well, with online multiplayer, including crossplay support. That's very nice. It's not 60 FPS, it is 30 FPS, but it still looks good, and it's considered to be one of the better looking Switch 1 racing games. It's on sale for $7.99 on the US eShop. A couple of the Persona games are on sale for $10 and under this week. Persona 4 Golden is a wonderful JRPG, an epic one. It's quite long, but it's a great one. Some consider it to be the best game in the series, still to this very day. It certainly has its fans. It's on sale for $9.99 on the US eShop currently. Additionally, there's Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, a sequel story to the original game that is a fighting game. This game was developed by Arc System Works, the developers who worked on the Guilty Gear series and Blaze Blue and Dragon Ball Fighters. This game is really good. It's got a lot of depth to the gameplay, lots of action, and it features a huge roster of characters from Persona 4 and Persona 3. Additionally, it includes the original Persona 4 Arena story, as well as the brand new one. And it includes all the DLC that ever came out for the game. Also, it has online multiplayer. It's on sale for 70% off. It's $8.99 on the US eShop. The Danganronpa games are pretty crazy. The games are adventure visual novels that usually follow a group of students trapped in a deadly game where they must murder another student and get away with it to escape. After each death, everyone participates in a class trial where the truth has to be uncovered. As the protagonist, you investigate the crimes, counter arguments, and present evidence to expose the culprit and save yourself. Unlike many visual novels, the gameplay here is more interactive thanks to the investigations and fast-paced trial segments where you literally need to shoot down contradictions in people's statements. The stories and characters are completely over the top and bonkers in the best way possible. If you enjoy bizarre games, dark humor, and truly unpredictable plots, then these games are right up your alley. If you ever wanted to check out the series, the first game is where I usually recommend most to start first, and it's incredibly cheap to get right now. It's just $1.99 on the US eShop. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate is a challenging roguelike RPG where players need to traverse through randomized dungeons and fight monsters and collect loot and gather treasure. If your character loses a life, they will lose their items and the level resets as well as the dungeons change. So you better be wise in how you approach combat and explore. This is an entry in the famed mystery dungeon games, and it is a good starting point for those looking to check out the more challenging ones beyond the Pokemon themed ones that seem to be popular. It's super cheap to pick up from the sale at 80% off, $3.99 on the US eShop. If you like detective/mystery adventure games, as well as games with a bit of Japanese flair and style, then AI, the SOMNIUM Files might be a game you want to check out. I think it's pretty good, it's filled with mystery, and even has a little bit of horror vibes. But don't worry, it's got a lot of humor too. There's lots of funny moments. Unlike most mystery games of the adventure genre, this one has you really involved with things. You got to explore crime scenes and solve various puzzle segments, some of which are in 3D and are timed too. This is pretty good, found it to be very enjoyable, and it seems like others like it too, as it's been good enough to receive a few sequels over the years. The first one is on sale for 80% off on the eShop. It's $3.99 on the US eShop. If you love the bullet hell games, then you should consider picking up Danmaku Unlimited 3 off the eShop. It's a really good shoot 'em up that will challenge your skills. The game's main gimmick is the Spirit Graze system that rewards getting close or just missing bullets to gain and use powerful attacks, as well as rack up a ton of points. If you're a bit of a newcomer to the genre, don't worry, there's multiple difficulty options to suit your skill level. So even beginners can have fun here, as well as veterans of the genre. It's currently on sale with a 70% off discount on the eShop. For $2.99 on the US eShop, at just a few bucks, it's a steal for shoot 'em up fans. SteamWorld Heist Ultimate Edition is a 2D, turn-based strategy game that has you competing in shootouts against the enemy. You will need to carefully time your shot with over 100 different weapons at your disposal. You can perform trick shots, such as ricocheting shots off walls and such. As you play, you can upgrade and customize your robot crew with various equipments and loadouts. The Ultimate Edition comes with a nice-sized campaign to blast through with New Game Plus support, but it also has the Outsider DLC campaign with a bunch of new stuff like more weapons and upgrades to play with. It's on sale for $1.99. At $2, it's an absolute no-brainer for those who love strategy games. Paper Trail is a puzzle adventure game where you get to play as a young girl named Paige who leaves home for the very first time in order to complete her studies. As the game follows her journey, you'll need to manipulate the screen, literally like it's paper, by folding and merging the sides of it in order to solve puzzles. It's a neat concept for a puzzle game. It's on sale currently for just $1.99 on the US eShop, with a 90% discount off the MSRP. Untitled Goose Game is an interesting game for sure. You play as a goose, and you basically just terrorize a town that you inhabit. In reality, it's kind of a puzzle adventure game / sandbox game, where you try to complete goals that involve, well, terrorizing people. Really, it's more like goals like you need to steal keys, chase people, move items around to confuse people, and cause certain events to occur. It's a life as a goose in a video game. That all said, this game is a lot of fun trying to see what you can do as the goose. It's a little bonkers, it's a little silly, but you'll quickly discover why so many people, including myself, love it so. It's on sale for $8.99, which, by the way, is the cheapest it's been on the eShop yet. I think you'll be in for a good time if you decide to pick this up. It'll make you laugh quite a bit. Thank Goodness You're Here is a game that the developers of it have called a slapformer. It is a comedy adventure game where you play as a very small man named the Salesman who explores the fictional town of Barnsworth while helping the inhabitants of the town with their problems. As the salesman, you can move objects, break them too, talk to characters, and even slap things as you try to solve problems of the town. There's some light puzzle solving, yes, but really the game's focus is on seeing what you can do and the comedy that results from your experimentation. If you're looking for something to take your mind off things, make you laugh, then this game will fit the bill. It's funny as heck with lots of slapstick humor. It's currently on sale with its biggest discount yet, 50% off the MSRP. This means it's now $9.99 on the US eShop. The Last Campfire, a game from Hello Games, yes, the one that made No Man's Sky, has you playing as a soul named Amber, who as them, you'll need to explore and solve various puzzles in order to gather all the forlorns, who are lost souls who have lost all hope and sense of purpose. It's a really nice game with a bit of an emotional touch. This game has a wide range of puzzles to solve, some small, some pretty big, and there's plenty of variety here to help keep things fresh. On both the original Switch and the Switch 2, the game does play at 60 FPS, but on Switch 2, it's pretty much rock solid on there, and it's locked to that frame rate. At $1.99 on the US eShop, it's extremely cheap, and for how cheap it is, if you like puzzle games, then this one is a no-brainer to pick up. Coromon is a pretty well-done indie monster collecting RPG, aka it's a Pokemon clone of sorts. You can build a team of more than 100 creatures, and train them and battle them using their skills and attacks. Visually, the pixel art style looks pretty good. There's difficulty options for those who want to make things more easier or more challenging, and online multiplayer is included too. This one, while it is a Pokemon clone, it's a very good one. And at 75% off the MSRP, it's less than $5 on the US eShop. Luminous Remastered is the modern HD remastered version, of course, of the classic puzzle game that has you rotating and aligning 2x2 blocks in order to clear them to the beat or rhythm of music. It's sort of like a puzzle game meets rhythm game. It's really good and very addicting. It's on sale for 70% off. It's $4.49 on the US eShop. Arcade-style racing game Team Sonic Racing has various characters in the Sonic series competing against each other on racetracks to see who's the fastest. Seriously, I thought it was Sonic. Anyway, this game in the series has its own unique gimmick where you have to work with your teammates in order to take the trophy. It's a capable racing game, and I'll admit, it's a lot of fun for what it is. It gets its first sale in a year and a half, making it pretty cheap right now. It's $8.99 on the US eShop. For those looking for a nice, cozy game to spend your days with, Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, or Rune Factory 4 Special are some excellent choices to pick up. These are wonderful games in their respective series. Yes, they're of the older style for each series, but they're still some of their very best, and they're pretty freaking cheap to get. Here in the US, you can nab them both for under $10 each. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, the remake of the classic GBA title, is on sale for $9.99 on the US eShop. And Rune Factory 4 Special, the updated remaster of the DS Classic, is on sale for $8.99 on the US eShop. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is a HD remaster of the DS game that went by the same name. It has you playing as a recently dead detective who must use his ghostly powers in order to save people, also trying to recover his own memories. The gameplay has you gathering clues, somewhat similar in a way to the Ace Attorney series, by interacting with objects, as well as it has you saving lives through these kind of timed puzzle segments by using his ghostly powers. The Switch version here has the remastered visuals, of course, as well as a remastered soundtrack, and has additional features like it includes an art gallery that you can check out. This was a great DS game, a little bit under the radar when it came out, but now everyone can check it out with this HD remaster. It's on sale for 67% off. It's $9.99 on the US eShop. I love this Super Monkey Ball series, and Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania might be the best one of the modern SMB games. Now, I might be biased because in reality, it is a remake of the first 3 console entries in the series, and myself and many others consider those to be the best games ever in the series. This game has a lot of content, but it also throws in some new stuff to shake things up, like new characters to play as, and modern additions like the ability to enable a jump mechanic to make the gameplay easier, or harder in some cases. This is a great game, and you can pick it up right now for $9.99 on the US eShop, a 75% discount off the usual MSRP. And that is it. A ton of eShop deals. Lots of awesome games for $10 or less. I hope this video helped you out. If it does, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to chime in down below if you've played any of these games before. share your thoughts and all that. And let me know if you plan to pick up anything from the sale. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you do not miss out on any future videos. For now, I'm going to go rest my voice. This one was a long one, and maybe I'll go play a game or two. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon on the next video.